All right, good morning. Running a little bit late. Was helping my friend look for their lost dog, unfortunately. Let's see, let's get that off there. There we go. You guys can see me. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, it is 8:51 p.m. here in Bali time. I know it's 8:51 there in Eastern Standard Time. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the likes and subscribes and also sharing the channel. I'll tell you what, we don't have a lot of people on today, so I'm going to probably wrap this up quickly, and I'm thinking about switching over to a shorter format. Also, something I want to talk about is that we're not going away, but we will probably be rebranding here in the near future to Unlock Wealth and Unlock Freedom, something I've been working on. It's not quite ready to go public yet, but a little bit of a preview for you guys. All right, and then what I want to talk to you guys today. So I ran the scanner. There's not really much here that I want to do or look at, although it is interesting. Space is very interesting lately. We got in anywhere from the $18 to the $26 range. I sold a bunch at 26 when Richard Branson sold a bunch. But I've been selling puts on Space since about $16, $17, $18 a share. Sadly, I only had 100 shares that I kept after Richard Branson sold his shares. But this thing has been on an absolute rocket, get it? Ha ha ha. And shooting up, hitting a close to its all-time high of $60. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. Have it set in there, and if you've got Space, you might want to consider the same. Selling the August 20th $60 call, okay? So it's pretty much at the money for $9.85 credit. And the reason I'm doing that is I actually expect there to be a pullback on Space. Let's type in the symbol because you can see that it's going pretty parabolic here. Right, and we're already seeing in the pre-market that it's going to come down. So my working contract here of $9.85 might not get filled because this is already dropping basically a dollar in the pre-market. But hopefully it gets filled. And if that gets filled, then my call will go down in value or expire worthless, and I'll get to keep that money, and I get to keep my shares. So that's the idea here. I know you guys are all expecting Richard Branson to go into Space on July 4th. However, as far as I can gather, that is still a rumor. He's not actually said that he's going to. He does have FAA permission because they allow all passengers, and Richard Branson, I believe, does not have an astronaut license or whatever qualifications you would need. So it does look like it's going to happen, but if that rumor turns out to be false, then the stock should tank. If anything goes wrong on the flight, the stock should tank. And if it's buy the rumor, sell the news, the stock will tank. So that's three big reasons why the stock will come crashing down. Hopefully not the rocket with Richard Branson in it. I'm actually very long-term bullish on this company. And so you might say, well, why are you selling a covered call? And it's simply because I'm picking a directional play. I think that no matter what happens, we're going to see the stock come back down. And then maybe it shoots back up. But all I need to do is pull back down. If I get this to execute this morning and it pulls down, I'm going to close it early at some point. And then if the event goes correctly and then we see it shoot up, then great, I still own the shares. If I can't close it early, well, that's okay. I got in the $20 range. I'm getting out at $60 plus the $9.85 in credit. I'll make a nice fat return on that. Wish I had more shares than that. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here in 5 minutes, literally. I've got a open position on SLGG, and I want to tell you that this is not a normal play. This is not a quote-unquote safe play. Let's bring up the wall mine on them real quick. So SLGG stands for Super League Gaming, and they are kind of like Twitch. They're not really Twitch, but they're kind of like Twitch. So they're trying to do, and this is a little bit hard to explain, but I think it is actually the correct strategy. They are doing professional tournaments for amateurs. So they're doing tournaments with prizes, with the whole setup, with nice camera crews, and they're targeting kids and teens, they're targeting the amateur league. So they're going to a bunch of different cities. Here, let's go to the website. I'll show you guys. And the person that runs this used to be, I believe, CEO, or at least a C-level manager for BP. So she's used to running a $3 billion corporation. She is not a joke at all. She does really good in the interviews. I put together, actually, you're on the Fox with Stocks. If you go to my channel, you just hit like the channel or the name. I put together a word playlist. I put together a playlist of videos related to SLGG, in which Ann Hand, I think her name is Ann Hand. She does a number of interviews, and her answers are really spot on. She's really sharp on camera. Probably have the questions pre-fed before they go on the news channel, so that you have a nice news thing. But she gives, even with that, she's giving really sharp, really good answers. And I think she's really playing the company well in this space. I want to show that liabilities is only $3 million, total assets is $43 million, and cash is $36.7 million. Yes, they are losing money. They are still in their growth phase. They're not, obviously they've got revenues, okay? They have revenue of less than $1 million a quarter, and they're spending $4.6 million, but they are ramping up and they are making acquisitions. They bought Mob Hut, sorry, don't have my notes ready for this, but they bought a large Minecraft server which has multiple millions of users on it. They already had a couple million users themselves, so they are doing a really good job of going after the younger audiences and building these league. I wanted to show the league symbols and stuff like that on the clubs. And they do these tournaments, and they do city by city. So the young kids go and they compete in their own city, and then they compete in their region, kind of like a Major League Baseball type of thing. Doesn't have it here. Anyway, they're really cool, and they're really going after this in a very different way. I feel like everybody else that's in this esports category, they're going after the pros themselves and then just trying to sell tickets. They're not really appealing or monetizing from the amateur crowd, except for maybe swag, right? They're selling t-shirts and merchandise and stuff like that, maybe some tickets, but they're really going after the future pros, right? They're going after the amateurs, and they're creating a ground where these people can go pro eventually, one of which already has. They competed in Super League Gaming, they won there, and now they've actually been signed to the pros. I forget which game that was, but it's a very interesting play inside of this esports sector. And so if you're bullish on the esports sector, which I am, it's estimated to be $3 billion by 2022, I believe, but I think it's got a lot of room to grow after that. People really love it. Not everyone thinks they can be a basketball player or a football player, but when you're a kid, you really love gaming. And then the idea, I didn't know this until I started looking at this company. There's over 100 universities now that are giving scholarships. They don't just have clubs, they're giving scholarships to professional gamers, to esports gamers. And so this is becoming very, very mainstream, and this is a very pure play, as they call it in the company, in the sector, that they're really going after it. So what am I doing? Okay. Excuse me. I'm going way out, much farther than I usually go, by about 20 days. I'm going to sell the October 15th $5 put. Now this is a low liquidity stock, unfortunately, so the strikes are $2.50 apart. I would really love to sell a $4 put. Here, I'll bring it up and show you guys. Shh. Quiet, Kiki. All right, I'll show you guys here. The option chains, they're $2.50 apart. I would really love to go down and sell the $4 put instead of the $5 put. But if you go out here to the $5 put, other side, you'll get between $1 and $1.45. So I'm trying to squeeze in some money out of that, and I'm going to sell 5, and for every 5 of those that I do, I can buy 100 shares for free, or basically covered by my premium. Now, that's what I'm doing. I could have done 20 or more of these contracts to get 400 shares, but I'm going to take this a little bit slow. It's not part of my normal cash flow plays. I wouldn't recommend this to everyone. It's a little unsafe. They don't really have much dominance in the market. And if you go to their channel on YouTube and stuff like that, they don't have enough viewers. They don't have enough subscribers. Their social media, I feel, is like behind where I would expect it to be. If you go in and you watch the interviews, She talks about they have 3 million members for this, they have 2 million members here, they have 4 million members there. So they've got all these millions of members, but it's not translating to their social media, which I thought was weird. I thought that was a big red flag. Obviously, they're losing 4.5 million a quarter. That's not a big red flag because they still have about 8. They almost have 10 quarters, about 8 quarters in cash on hand, which is enough. That's what I like to see. I like to see 8 quarters cash on hand. They have that. But I'll tell you what's interesting and what's also the negative, right? There's some really big players in this space. There's some really big players that could lead to an acquisition. Activision could buy them. Amazon and Twitch are really big in the esports, so they could buy them and acquire them. Microsoft with Xbox could acquire them. PlayStation definitely could if they wanted to. Blizzard, if they do decide to go into esports. Basically, all these really big publisher, developer companies have something to do with esports, right? They're all making esports games, and they all see where the industry is going. That there's tons of money in this, so they're all going to be fighting over this. And it's really interesting whether or not SLGG gets acquired by one of them. There's some rumors on Reddit that actually GameStop will pivot into esports, and that SLGG could get acquired by GameStop because it's bigger, and that actually Anne would end up as the CEO because she has much bigger experience than the current CEO for GameStop. Anyway, that's purely rumors, okay? But it's a very interesting idea. And Wall Street Bets did mention this stock before, which is why it shot up to $11 here. And there's it's very speculative. It's very rumory. I'm not recommending this as part of a normal cash flow play. I'm just saying I really like this space. I like this company. I like a lot of things about it. It's definitely growth. It's definitely risky. And it's not a cash flow play for me. It's a acquisition play for me. So I'm selling the cash secured puts again October 15th. It's 109 days out. I'm doing it for $1.15 in credit. Get anywhere from $1.15 and $1.40 hopefully. And for every 5 of those that I sell, I'm going to turn around and use the credit from that to just buy 100 shares, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see which way this way goes. If it goes down, then obviously I'll be forced to buy them at 5. I get to keep my credit. I'll have a break even about 385, and then I'll own 600 shares instead of 100 shares. And then I'll turn around and I'll start selling probably some covered calls, or I might just let it ride a bit. This is not a super safe play. This is not a normal play. I'm not really recommending it to you guys. I'm just saying this is an interesting play that I'm doing. It could turn into a high risk, high reward, because I'm going to buy these 100 shares and I'm not going to sell a covered call right away on them, right? If I get filled on these 5 options, I'm going to keep the credit. I'm going to use that credit to just buy shares, and I'm not going to run a covered call on those shares for the time being, because I think that if things go right, this company has a lot of upside. It's not about running the wheel month after month just to collect premium on this company. The reason I'm selling puts here is to basically get free shares of SLGG, and I wanted to share that with you guys. The other thing is there's just not a lot going on in the market that I want to touch right now. Here's what the scanner pulled up. I already have plays on these where I want plays on these. Space has shot up in a huge amount has tripled up from where it is. I don't want to be selling puts on Space right now. Let's see, I had a scanner for this, but I've gone through it a few times. Basically, I'm seeing the same things over and over again. The one thing I would consider actually is this Fubo put at $30.50. The last one got executed at $1.98. Fubo worked out great for me. I'd have to recheck it again before doing it. I'm not interested in doing Kodak. I've got enough plays on Mara. Same thing with Riot. I have enough on that. There's nothing else. And a Workhorse, they're an okay company. I'm not saying they're terrible. I've just got so much Tesla shares. They missed out on the USPS contract. That's why they were such a high price before. I'm not touching AMC. It's very meme. Bed Bath & Beyond has bad fundamentals. I'm not touching that. So there's nothing else that I really want to do or play this week, basically, today. And so that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on this SLGG. I've been doing as much research as I can, going through as much interviews as I can. It's not a perfect play. Like I said just a few moments ago, they say they have all these millions of members, but they're not saying how many of those are active. They don't necessarily have an app. If we're in the app development space, you have X number of members, and then you have a much smaller number, which is monthly active users, MAU. I haven't found out how many monthly active users these guys actually have. In 2018, they did have a TV show with Nickelodeon where they were following around these 6 kids from these 6 different cities that were competing in these tournaments, and they turned it into this big dramatization type thing. I feel like they didn't show enough of the gameplay. If I'm a fan, right, and I watch this on Nickelodeon and they're playing Minecraft, I feel like they didn't show enough of the Minecraft being played. It's like the creators of that didn't understand the game, or they thought that their audience wouldn't understand the game, so they spent a lot of time focusing on the kids' faces and expressions, and I feel like that's a disconnect from what you would want to watch if you're actually a Minecraft player or a Minecraft kid. So they're not quite hitting it on Nickelodeon, they're not quite hitting it on their social media. There's definitely room for them to grow and improve there. And so I don't know, if they say they have 6 million users over here, why do they only have, I think it was 300,000 or something on their YouTube? That's not quite adding up for me. YouTube, Super League Gaming. And unfortunately, that recent thing with the European soccer, aka football, they were going to call it Super League. So now if you search the internet for Super League, you don't get Super League Gaming right away. You unfortunately get Super League, the football. So here's what I'm talking about, right? This company supposedly has millions and millions of members and viewers and whatnot in their ecosystem. But if you go to their YouTube, they've only got 21,000 subscribers. If you go and watch these replays, the Valorant semifinals, stuff like that, it's 173,000 views. Now, if you're a small company or if you're starting your own channel, that's actually really good. But if you're a $1 million company, right? They've got 40 million cash on hand. They've got a market cap of 201 million. Okay, that's a lot smaller than what I would have expected. I would have expected 1 million views here, and I would have expected, at least 6 figures of subscribers, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million subscribers. So there's something not perfect about this company. That's why it's not a cash flow play. It's an acquisition play. If it goes really right, could make a lot of money. If it doesn't go really right, hopefully using the cash secured puts, we get in at a safe price and can bounce out of this. And that's what I'm hoping. If I sell the $5 put, get $1.15 in credit, and I had to go way far out to get that much credit, and there is no $4 put. I would love to just sell a $4 put 30 days out, but there is no $4 put. So I had to go 109 days out, sell the cash secured put, cash covered put, to get that $1.15. Every 5 of those contracts I sell, I get 100 free shares, quote unquote. You're using the premium to pay for it. And then either you're going to make a bunch of money or you're not going to make a bunch of money. Hey guys, I do want to thank you guys for watching, for tuning in. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to keep doing these live shows. I might switch over. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not leaving you guys, by the way, okay? I just might switch over to a smaller format, do quick videos, record them, pre-record them, then throw them out Monday morning, Wednesday morning for you guys, which also frees up my time and schedule. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask, because I'm actually going to be wrapping this up here. We're not going to carry through until the market open. But I do want to remind you guys, go check out theoptionsoracle.com. They have a 30-day risk-free trial. They will give you market signals. They already had one that came out the previous week. I like the trades. They've all been doing good for me, except the Mara trades, which, that just follows Bitcoin. That's not really anybody's fault. But all of their trades turned out really great for me this week. Last week. So I want you guys to go check them out, 30-day free trial. Also, we're not affiliated with, but we really love them, Sens.org. They're working on curing aging. That would be the best investment that ever happens for anybody. So they've also got this thing going on where if you donate, you're going to get Pulse Chain airdrop, this cryptocurrency thing. I don't know too much about it, but basically you're going to get cryptocurrency if you donate. Let's see, in the next amount of time. All right. I wasn't planning on going into this, so I didn't write down any notes for this. But I saw it in my email address. In my email, because I'm obviously a big fan of them and subscribed to them. I've donated to them in the past. You guys can go check it out if you like the Pulse Chain. hey, think of it like this. You're donating money, you're investing in the possibility of curing aging, helping you and your family and your friends and your future kids and your future grandkids live much longer. And if you do it right now, you get a reward with this Pulse Chain airdrop. So go check it out. Thank you guys for subscribing. I will see you guys on Wednesday. It might be a short clip or it might be live. Stay tuned and check it out. And like I said before, if you're interested in this risky play, there's SLGG. If you own any space shares, I'm selling a covered call because I do expect a pullback. Excuse me. I do expect a pullback based on the way things are going. Even if it's just buy the rumor, sell the news, even if everything goes great, there still could be a pullback on the price of this. So be safe out there, everybody. And good luck. Happy trading. I'm going to sign off, and I will see you on Wednesday.